Hi, everybody, and welcome to Small Steps, Big Life. My name is Nathan Aswell, and I'm coming to you live from Vancouver, Canada. And it is my great pleasure to speak to some of the members of my tribe, Freebo and Harold Payne and Faith Rivera. Freebo is actually all three of you are in LA. Are you in LA, Freebo, somewhere?
No, I'm in Porterville, California.
Okay, Porterville, California. But Harold, you are in Los Angeles?
Yes.
And Faith, you are in, you would
Long
prefer to say Long Beach?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I'm in San Pedro, Pedro, as
okay.
we call it here.
All right.
Los Angeles, Port of
Okay.
Los Angeles.
All right, get persnickety about it. All right. So the reason for this gathering of this great crew, dear people, is there will be a concert happening tomorrow night at Kulak's Woodshed, and the instigator of that adventure is Freebo. So that's where we will ultimately end up. But this show is called Small Steps, Big Life because it's all about talking about how life is nothing but small steps, a series of small steps that help us to get to the big lives that we all want to live. And these three folks, actually these 3.5 folks, actually no, Izzy is a complete person. These 4 folks are personifications of that, people who are living big, exciting lives. And so it's my great pleasure to have them all here. So Freebo,
Hey, Nathan.
let's talk a little bit, just give people an overview. But well, first of all, I know Freebo. I met Freebo in February of 2008. Freebo, that was the year that you and I met at the International Folk Fest Folk Alliance that happened in Memphis. That's when we first met. And then we really got to know each other about a month later at the Harmonizing with Humanity event that happened in Phoenix, Arizona. And yeah, we've connected with each other a million times since in lots of different ways. But why don't you just give folks kind of an overview of Freebo for 30 seconds or a minute, just kind of tell people a little bit about you.
That could take up the whole program, but yeah. Okay.
That's why I said a minute.
Well, first of all, I mean, the reason that I've been able to get this together tomorrow night is because JD got in touch with me saying that he and Jan are coming to LA to play in Agape, which they did on Sunday, and I watched the service, the last service, and they were fabulous as always. I expected nothing less, but they were incredible, and they really rocked the house. Beautiful stuff. And they had that, and they had a couple of days they need to fill in between. So they said, anybody have any ideas? And I did. I thought, well, there's a Kulak's Woodshed thing, and I thought it's not all about the money, but it is about a wonderful venue that it does a very nice HD 6-camera webcast, goes all over the country, all over the world, really. And I thought that would be a nice thing. I could get them that. And I thought, well, gee, I'd certainly like to be a part of that. And I thought, well, no, wait a second. Why don't I get in touch with a couple of my other LA New Thought / Posse buddies? So Harold came to mind immediately, and Faith, and I got in touch with them, and they said they'd love to do it. So I said, let's put together a night of Posse music at Kulak's Woodshed and get in touch with our friends across the country who are into Posse music and have it be an amazing night of great music with very high-level message. And, I've got great respect for each of these artists and the fact that we know each other's tunes somewhat, and we can play with each other, and we can support each other in so many ways. So I'm happy to be able to present the venue that we can all be at. And I'm very excited about the show, to be honest with you.
Yeah, cool. So for those who don't know, the artist that Freebo is speaking about are J.D. Martin and Jan Garrett, who are a life couple as well as a songwriting couple, and they are based in Colorado. And they are in LA this weekend, and as Freebo just said, they were performing at Agape last Sunday. And so we all know each other. The one event that most of us get a chance to be together every year is the Positive Music Festival, which happens in Florida. This year will be happening in Tampa from February 11th to the 15th. And normally when we do our thing, we're scattered all over the place, as is evidenced right now. And so it's an opportunity for us to all physically be in the same place. And so that's one more reason why I'm happy to be doing this blabcast today, is that we don't have to get on a plane to see each other. We can just
Blabcast.
click a few buttons on our computers and have the next best thing. So what else would I like to say? So Freebo, tell us about Kulaks. Like what's your connection to this place?
Well, I've been playing there on and off for the last, almost 15 years he's been open. And I've been there since the beginning. I actually had a residency there, played every Tuesday night for a couple of years, which was very good for me to work with the cameras, but also to get the webcast. And I've had a lot of musicians come in and play with me in different ways. So it was, in a way, good for me to get my singer-songwriter thing together and be a band leader. And I also really want to support Paul Kulak, whose invention Kulak's Woodshed is. And Paul is really all about the music, and I've got great respect for him. For him, it's not about making money. He wants musicians to be able to make a living doing this. And so he wanted to present a venue where musicians can get their music out there, and particularly with the webcast get out. And I think that's the future, where so many people don't really want to leave their living rooms, especially as they get older. And so now we can bring the music into their living rooms, and that's exactly what we're going to do tomorrow night. Unless you're in LA, in which case we'd love to have you with the show in North Hollywood. That's where it is.
And what's the website, Freebo? Let's let everybody know what the website is.
Well, the website is kulakswoodshed.com. Kulaks is Kulaks. It's no apostrophe in that. So www.kulakswoodshed.com. And that will take you to the concert window broadcast, which is actually it's under my name, but they both link together. So that's the way you can log on to it.
Right. And for those who don't know, concert window is a way for you to be a part of a concert online, and you can donate. Did you set the ticket price, Freebo?
Yeah, $10.
Okay. So concert price is $10 or more, whatever you'd like to contribute. If you'd like to contribute more. And once you see the link on Kulaks Woodshed, it should be pretty easy to get there. And as I always say, right after this podcast is over, I will include a link not only to the websites of each of these fine people, but also to Kulaks Woodshed, so that you can go online and buy tickets. So thanks, Freebo. Yes, sir.
Nathan, pardon me for interrupting, but I don't know if JD and Jan are on a limited time, and I'd be happy to give them my chair for a while and step out and step back, whatever serves the blab.
Thank you, Honorary Canadian. I was going to actually ask Faith to speak next, so that she could get some airtime, and then maybe she could bow so that she could, give Izzy whatever.
And JD just said they're there for the duration, which is nice. I hope you guys know we're going to midnight.
Right.
Says who?
Yeah. So Faith Rivera is, she's a star in this universe, someone who inspires me every time she performs, and it's our great pleasure to have her with us today with Izzy, her brand spanking new daughter. How old is Izzy now, Faith?
She's going to be 5 months in a few days.
Wow. Yeah. Unbelievable. Amazing.
That's our first Blabcast. Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So, what is, I don't know why we're getting echo from somewhere. I was hoping that if we were all wearing earbuds, the echo would go away, but I'm sorry that it's going on. It shouldn't be there, but it is. And so it is. So, Faith, what will you be doing tomorrow night?
Me? Well, I'm going to hand her over to Daddy. And I get to come and tell you guys. The best part is, not only getting to see everybody, but, playing on each other's songs. I just told JD, because, I was listening to some of their songs again. I'm like, I'm falling in love with you guys all over again. I mean, sometimes we forget because we all hang out, like, really what great material is there. And so I'm excited about that, and excited, too, about the impromptu band thing. It's sometimes I think people don't know. We kind of all just jump there, an hour before or less, and we kind of say, like, hey, this is what we think might happen. So my intention to have a great time, and I don't know, just have a great time, period, and share some great music with incredible people. So, yeah, nothing more, nothing less.
Are you going to play piano too, or are you just going to focus on singing?
Well, what's funny is I had saved like 2 songs, right, that I was going to do myself, but JD is just like, oh, I can play on all of them, and it's like that. Oh gosh,
Nice.
actually, I'm a little conflicted because there's parts of me that think, I should play, but I don't know. I just feel more freedom when I'm not playing. I wish I didn't have that thing, but so we'll see. I may end up playing one or two songs, but hello, JD's there, so what
Yeah.
What's
Hey.
the point?
Not so bad.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So yeah, that's.
And Harold, what would you like to say about tomorrow night? Good sir.
Well, it's just I love intimate venues, and this is the best of both worlds. It's an intimate venue that broadcasts to the world at the same time. So you have that intimacy of playing for the people there, and then people anywhere in the world can pop in. Anybody you've ever known in your life, which can be dangerous. No, just kidding. But no, it's fantastic. And I too started playing at Kulak's back when it first opened, and I haven't been there, often because it's kind of on the other part of town. But of course, Freebo's way on another part of town, so I can't use that as an excuse.
Can.
Yeah. But I always love doing it, and with all these folks, I mean, yourself included, it's just going to be a blast. I mean, just being in the presence of some people who are good friends that I care about and love spending time with, and doing music at the same time, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And
Faith, have you been to?
So I'm excited about that. I forgot to say.
I was just going to ask you if you'd been there before. So it's your first time. Wow.
I've heard about it for years and had wanted to use the venues. So I mean, there were just so many reasons to say yes. Especially, Mommy gets a night out. A little bit. Yeah. Don't tell no one that. So thanks, Freebo, really, and Jan and JD for inspiring it. Yeah, I'm excited.
Cool. So I think what I'm excited about in this, and I'm beginning to see this happen more and more, is this wonderful event that we all are a part of, the Positive Music Festival that happens in Florida, was kind of still is the flagship event for positive music in North America. And events like this are helping spread the love, helping to get the word out in other communities, which I'm really happy about. I'm aware of a few events that happen here in Canada, one that happens in Oregon, and San Diego, the San Diego Conscious Music Fest that happened in November that Faith and I were a part of. So slowly but surely, other communities are beginning to focus or feature this kind of music. I'm very excited about that.
Yeah.
Okay, we should get Jen and JD in here. So who would like to bow out for the moment?
Yeah, I'm going. Izzy's signing off.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Thank you, and maybe I'll pop on
Thanks,
again. We'll
Izzy.
come back in a second. Okay, thank you so much.
What, I have something to say to Izzy.
Yes?
Izzy, what do you
think about that?
I said,
And she's saying, what are you saying? There. She says, I need milk.
There you go.
Okay, bye.
all right.
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay. All right, JD, come on in. There you go. There he is, just waiting for the moment. Ladies and gentlemen, the lovely and talented
JD and Jan, both of them?
I'm assuming.
He's beaming in.
I'm assuming that the both of them are there.
Hey!
Hey.
Excellent.
We scared ourselves.
Join the club.
Welcome.
Oh my God.
This is fun. Now, Jen, can you hear?
What do you mean, can I hear? I've got my buds in.
Oh, I can't see them. I only.
It's because they're really cool. I'm so cool, my buds disappear.
Ooh.
They do, disappearing buds.
They match my outfit.
You are one with the vibration of all.
I am so.
I've seen a lot of disappearing buds at a lot of drinking parties.
Yeah, well, you're here with your buds right now, so
I was waiting for that from you.
I figured I didn't want to disappoint you. It was low-hanging fruit, but what the heck.
So congratulations, Jan and JD, for being the impetus for the concert tomorrow night. Sounds like it was because of you that all of this came to be. That's great.
Well,
Because they're imp.
And we are us. Impetus.
oh
All
my
right.
God. Well,
We are us.
You know, I was just begging. So I'm so good. I'm really.
And you know, I felt that, JD. That's when I answered.
I'm grateful to Freebo. I'm grateful to everybody that this is going to be really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what would you like to tell the world about the two of you, Jan and JD?
I want to know how much of the world is actually out there. So can you all raise your hand? Oh, just kidding.
We may only have a handful of people on now, but the wonderful thing about this is shortly after this conversation, it will go onto YouTube, and I will send you guys a link to put on your site. So we will have an hour-long record of this moment that I hope will draw more and more people to all of us individually and collectively.
That is so scary.
It is scary.
Don't be
Isn't it?
afraid.
Okay.
It's all good. It's all
Didn't
good.
get my makeup people.
Posterity, man. That is looms very large, the posterity thing. But we're just happy to be here now.
No, Nathan, thank you for hosting this. This is very cool.
Oh, my great pleasure.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about having a way to. I realize that the gift of all the traveling that I'm doing with Jana, is I know all these amazing people everywhere I go.
Yeah.
So I thought, let's tell the world about some amazing people I know. So it's great for me to have a whole gaggle of them at once.
A gaggle of.
Yeah, a gaggle for sure. So the band is, and I didn't kind of twig on this until Faith had said it. So basically, you're all going to be playing on each other's stuff. So Freebo, you're going to be switching back and forth between guitar and bass.
Hopefully, if anybody will allow me to play on their stuff, I would love to do it. That's for sure. So certainly some great songs.
Yeah.
And Harold, you'll be playing guitar. Jan will be playing. Jan will be singing.
I will be playing my shaker.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
She does it well.
Silly me,
Not to
forgetting
be
the shaker.
dismissed. An important and well played instrument.
And very small.
No,
Very
and I
tiny.
must say, Jan, watching you on the Agape show, and by the way, I mentioned this to JD when we talked on the phone, but you guys were fabulous at Agape. I mean, you did a combination of rock the house and just really gave them some serious musical meat to think about, but it's just some beautiful stuff. And the way you move with your shaker is so cool. I mean, it's very, very, very visual. Great.
Thank you. So we have not yet watched the stream, so we don't know. We only know from the way we were looking out, but it sure felt great.
Oh, it's very nice. It was well done.
Thank you.
Sounded good, looked good.
Thank you
I
so
assume,
much.
Jan and JD, that you've been to Agape many times.
That was kind of our home, our original. We lived together in LA from 97 to 2001, and Agape was our first spiritual home in this new thought world.
Wow.
So we played there. We were on their spiritual kind of like music team for those 4 years. So it's like home, We know those guys really well. They're something else.
And were you doing the message as well, or is that kind of?
Nobody does the message
Yeah,
like Michael.
I was going to say that's Michael's sacred turf.
Yeah.
Oh, it's incredible.
Yeah. So we were glad we got to do 3 tunes. So it was really good. I'll let you talk, Dave. JD is going to talk now.
Oh yeah.
Now, when you guys are at Agape, do you perform with the band and with the choir and stuff, or like how does that work?
Yes. Actually, the way we went in there, we had a song that we'd never done live before. We'd always played it with a track, so we were nervous, and we took almost all of our rehearsal time on that one song. And then we finally got a second song in, and we didn't have time for the third song, so we went, okay, we'll just do it by ourselves. And it was I Dreamed of Rain, which is, of course, perfect acoustically. And so we started I Dreamed of Rain, and the band just snuck right in, just like we had practiced it. Of course, we hadn't.
Yeah, I thought you would practice it, but the arrangement was actually beautiful. It's really nice.
Yeah, it's just such a treat to play with those guys. They're just amazing.
Yeah.
Excellent.
But it'll be such a treat to play with all of you guys tomorrow, and that's why we're doing
Good
this
follow-up.
Labcast.
I got to give you a click for that.
So, Freebo, let's talk a little bit more about tomorrow night. Concert starts at 7 Pacific time.
7 Pacific time, yep.
And we'll go
whatever time zone you're in. Well, probably about 2.5 hours. We'll probably go to 9:30, and there's certainly a lot of a lot of songs to do. I mean, we're together, so I'd always rather go a little bit longer than a little bit shorter. Some people would rather go shorter than longer. People can always leave. Yeah, that's probably about that, and we'll see who sticks with us.
Yeah.
By the way, you guys all know that you'll wind up with a very nice DVD of the show afterwards, which would be.
We or the people who are watching?
You.
Everybody?
No. You. People who are watching only get it one time. They get live. We get to watch ourselves over.
It's kind of like a torture chamber, isn't it? we get to watch. Oh, we love it. We love that.
It's a nice broadcast.
It is. We saw you, Freebo, one of the last times you did it was fabulous. Mm-hmm. Sound is so good, and the video looks really good, and it's very professional. Very cool.
Was that the thing with Lynn and Harold?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm, Lynn Rose.
Yeah.
Did you get to check out Harold's intro and his wrap up?
Oh.
That?
It was too far into the program.
We only saw you do some of your keynote. That's all we got to see, and then so.
But what did Harold do?
Well, he wrapped up my keynote. What do you call it?
I did a recap improv for both. After each of them spoke, I was in the back taking notes on my laptop. Oh no, on my paper, on my legal pads. Taking down the nuggets on one side and composing on the other. Wow. And then going up and just praying that a melody would come out, And
it was brilliant. I mean, it was really.
And may I just say, for those of you guys watching out there in the world, if you have not seen Harold and heard Harold and been with Harold when he does this incredibly magic thing, this improv thing, you gotta stick around. You gotta watch this. You gotta be part of it because it's just. His talent is ridiculous.
I'm just channeling you guys.
I mean, it's really special. It's really amazing.
Thank you.
So,
And Harold, hopefully we can get you to do some sort of an improv type of, a posse, of course, a posse improv.
I don't know. The imps are already going to be there, so I don't know if I can do the improv.
Right.
You could improve on it, though.
Well, actually, Jan, you're inspiring me. Let's take advantage of this because it's harder for us all to talk about ourselves. Right. I would like all of you to kind of say loving things about the other artists in this.
I thought you were going to say about you.
Nathan, what a guy! What a guy!
Nathan's incredible.
Okay. So yeah, lots of love for Harold. Any other words for Harold?
Well, I mean, come on, the guy's an incredible songwriter, incredible singer, and so let me just say, I mean, he's a star, obviously, in his own right. He gets in the front of the stage, and he just is magic. But he's such an amazing support, also, for everybody else, and he just makes everybody else look and sound great. So, hey, there you go.
Thank you.
I will add to that, and only because Nathan Aswell is in the room. Harold is the second nicest guy.
Well, as I'm fond of saying, I call Harold an honorary Canadian because I don't know anybody who apologizes as much as I do, other than Harold. So we have a weekly mastermind call.
I'm sorry, I'll try to catch up.
Yeah, I don't know who says I don't know who says that word more, Harold or I. It's a pretty close race every and yeah, Harold. I think the besides the lightness and the joy and the grace with which you deliver what you do, I mean, it's that mixed with your humility. You're
well, thank you. I think we've talked about me enough.
Yeah.
No, I have something to say about him. Yeah.
Excellent. Go, JD.
On my phone, I have a message, Harold, that you left me, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. I'm going to keep forever. It's like, it makes me laugh. It makes me cry. It's really beautiful. Thank you. He's that kind of guy.
Thank you.
I forget what he said.
I sang something to him.
You did.
I believe it, which of course I could sing right back to you right now. I remember it exactly.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You would
Now
only
we
improve
move
on it.
to Freebo.
Yeah.
Freebo, what can you say about Freebo, man? I will say that I knew of Freebo long before he knew about me. Back in the 70s, Freebo, man, when you were playing with Bonnie Raitt and like you were playing tuba, it was so incredibly hip. When the rest of the world didn't know from tuba.
What a tuba was.
And like I was like, man, this dude is so cool and he plays so great. And he's just like, who does that? And it was like Freebo does that.
And he's got hair. Oh my God.
And he was like, he was a god to us, to our band. And then all the fast forward all these years, and made him like, wow, there's Freebo.
And then you got to know him.
You got to know, and he's even better.
Yeah.
He's even better. He's multi-talented.
Yeah, I met Freebo. How long ago was that, Freebo? I would say 15
years probably, yeah.
Approximately 15 years ago. And I had known of him playing when he played with Bonnie Raitt and all the other people that he played with as a bass player. And he showed up at this songwriter night that I had and said, you know, I'm coming out as a songwriter, and that's what I really want to be doing. And I was so impressed by the fact that he was willing to, it's not starting at ground zero, but it's like speaking French and saying, I'm going to start over speaking Spanish, you know. You got a leg up because you're a musician, but I mean, that was a whole other road to start being a singer-songwriter. And to see him lap everybody and leave everyone in the dust and just go on to make great albums. He already was a great band leader and just move forward with skill and alacrity to really put out great music and be a great performer and speaker as well. Right. So I really am proud to see what you've done and being willing to like start at almost ground zero again and reinvent yourself a couple times, you know.
Well, thank you, Harold, and I accept the compliment. I appreciate it. Actually, thinking back, it's probably closer to 20 years ago. Yeah, I really think about it because I was definitely a deer in the headlights, no doubt about it. Mm-hmm. And I got to say, I wouldn't be here right now without you, because you are the one who really turned me on to New Thought music. You said, you know, Freebo, you've got a couple songs that would work in these kind of churches that I play at. And I go, churches, really? Churches, I don't know. And I did, and I applied, and I walked out. God, I made more money at this church by noon than I did in a bar playing 5 sets with a lot of smoke and beer and people dancing in front of me. And so, no, you really did. You turned me on to the New Thought world, and then you turned me on to when it was at Unity Village in Kansas City, when the Posies first started. Freebo, you got to come to this, and I did, and I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know Nathan or Jan and JD or Janice Stanfield, any of these people, the wonderful people that I know. Sue Riley, Sue I knew from Summer Song, Richard, and it's just an amazing world. And like I said, just to bring it back to the top, it feels so good for me to be able to help gather so many wonderfully talented, big-hearted, soul, spirits, people, artists, to be able to, to come together tomorrow night and do a show that we're really going to fly by the seat of our pants, but I guarantee you it's going to be really good. Maybe better because it's by the seat of our pants and unrehearsed, but it's going to be some really nice stuff.
Well, I'm really happy to have all of you here right now, because for me,
JD has something to say. It's so rare.
Don't forget that thought, JD. I just want to stick this in and say that what I was hoping people would experience, and it's happening as I knew it would, the joy and the love and the camaraderie that we share in this conversation is going to be very evident tomorrow night, and will also, as it is every year, be very evident at the Posse. So I am happy that this conversation is doing its work and letting people know what fun we have when we come.
And will you be tuning in tomorrow night, Nathan?
I will be. Yep.
And where will you be tuning in?
I'll be here. I'll be in Vancouver. I will be tuning into Kulak's Woodshed and that website once again, www.coolxwoodshed.com. That's www.coolxwoodshed.com.
And the concert.
The groove is king. JD, the floor recognizes you.
Yes, one more thing about Freebo. I love the memories. Of course, I have similar memories of what Jan mentioned, being introduced to you through Bonnie's music. And then just to get to know you as part of the positive music world and to get to play music with you. I mean, I love sitting down at the piano and having you play bass. It's just such a nice, comfy thing. It feels really good. Always feels great. Yeah. And I like the way you keep in touch with people. I like reading your emails that go out. I just like your spirit. I love who you are. So thank you for being part of this.
My pleasure. Thank you.
And can I just say, we just listened to Freebo's new CD that I just put out as we were driving through a terrible snowstorm over 2 mountain passes to get from our house to Denver to fly to California. Killer CD. Great job, Freebo. Really, really, really cool. Cool album.
Name of the CD, Freebo, for those who don't have it?
If not now, when?
Right.
Not now, when?
Without a question mark.
All right. Cool.
That's good.
Why, I don't know, because the question mark didn't seem right to have a title be a question.
Because it's a rhetorical question.
It's a rhetorical question. You're right. Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah.
No problem.
Okay, so what I'm going to do, JD, if you don't mind, I'm going to invite Faith back in your square because now we're going to talk about you. So you can just grimace and groan and just accept.
And you won't be able to hear what we say, right?
Exactly. Well, you can write it, so we'll be able to see it. Okay. Faith, are you ready to come back in? Let me just make sure Faith is around because I'm not sure if she is or not. Well, while we're waiting to hear from Faith, Freebo and Harold, please wax poetic on Jan and JD.
Well, I will. I might not use iambic pentameter, but a similar parameter to expand on the circumference and the diameter of the breadth of their beauty, talent, and graciousness. First of all, Jan is the mistress of multiple styles. She can get in that sophisticated place and go, to that standardy kind of a thing, and then turn around and gospel or rock it or whatever, and always knows these perfect, cool harmony parts, and is real supportive to other people, and is a real, addition to any musical room or other room that she attends. And JD has got this, loving presence, and his soulful vocals and piano player. I mean, the hard thing about writing with JD is that you fall in love with the sound of his voice and his keyboard, and it's hard to concentrate on the melodies and stuff because it sounds good whatever comes out. He can play a cluster of alleged dissonance that comes out smelling like a rose. So
I mean, Harold, even his bad notes sound good.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean,
he has bad notes.
Well, it's hard to say because they sound good.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and I would second what you're talking about. That each of these guys, each of you guys, Jan and JD, are just phenomenal songwriters and artists, in your own right. And when you get together, what you do is just fabulous. The harmonies are impeccable. The writing is amazing. You don't know whose song it is, who co-wrote, who did what. You guys are so joined in a really beautiful way. And I will say one more time, if anybody just joined in, I mean, the performance at Agape, and that's not an easy thing to do. You're in front of 1,000 people, who are really looking to rock. They're looking at, yeah, this whole gospel thing happened. And you guys, especially coming on, I dreamt of rain and the rain came. I mean, it was like, whoa, which is such a great song. But to make that choice as the first song, and then build it from there. And the other song that I'd never heard before, a very wonderfully political song in the best sense. What was the name of that song, JD?
Tell a stronger story.
Yeah, beautiful song. I mean, just killer. Just the whole approach. So, and that's what I really love about, and why I feel so grateful to be part of this tribe, is that it's really about it's about really good music that with a message that's very, very powerful, very, very powerful. And and you just don't hear that much these days. I mean, I hear a lot of music of the lyrics. It's the same thing. Oh, I love you, you love me. You don't love me, you don't love me. At some point, it's like, okay, been there, done that. But there's more to talk about than just love. And in this case, it's a deeper kind of love. And so it's really beautiful what you guys do. I mean, I could listen to you. Let's put it this way, as they say in the vernacular, I would pay to see you guys.
Wait, that's
Which
crazy
brings
talk.
us to the concert.
No,
Yeah,
but he didn't.
I didn't say how much.
But the concert tomorrow night, guys, those of you who are out there in the world listening and watching, please do, man. Tune in. We have no idea what's going to happen, right, guys? I mean,
well, we do. We know it's going to be really
We know
good.
that.
We know that.
but I mean, we'll just make it up as we go, which is kind of great because there's going to be 5 of us there, and then also with Levi Hammock and Glenn Rethel. So that's 7 of us there. And yet there's this presence in the room, which is the invisible presence, which is really what's happening,
Yeah.
coming through all of us. And that's kind of the thrill. That's why we do this,
Yeah.
I know that's why we are all doing this, because it's like, we show up and then we get out of the way. And then something can happen.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but except if we all get out of the way, nothing's going to happen. So we have to be a little bit judicious about that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mean like that the girls would go to the bathroom or anything. I mean, you know what I'm talking about.
Can we talk about Faith?
Faith, yes.
I was my very thought, JD. Yes, please wax.
Where is she?
Please wax
Well, she's
poetic
here.
about Faith. She's
If
here.
she can take my slot if she wishes.
No. Let's just carry. Well, Faith, you want to jump back in? You guys start talking. Let's see what Faith says. But let's start giving Faith some love. Who would like to start talking about Faith?
I will.
Go ahead.
Go ahead,
No, you
Jake.
first. You know her better than me.
No, I'm sorry.
Yes, you do. You go.
Okay. Faith is saying no. Wait, can I talk? So who would like to make room for Faith?
I would prefer. We can.
Okay.
Yeah, work it out.
Okay. I'll Jen and JD it is. I'll bring you back in.
Okay.
Thank you.
And I'll give you my slot in a bit.
Okay.
Your chair is in the
Okay.
mail.
Okay, Faith, we are ready. Here we are. Now, what would Faith
Open
like?
seat. I love that.
Ladies
Oh my
and
God.
gentlemen, welcome back to the stage, Faith Rivera.
It's dark. I'm sorry. The sun set. What could I do? I look very dark.
Is there a light you can put on in there?
Well, it's going to take a second. Should
That's
I
okay.
come back or talk?
No, that's
No,
okay. You can talk.
You still look good,
Well,
Faith.
Yeah, we
very
can- we
dark.
can-
Okay, who cares? So Jan and JD, I think I met them at the first Posy thing when it was called Eye to Eye. Remember that whole thing? I don't even know if Freebo you were there, but Harold, do you
Eye to
remember the
Eye.
Eye to Eye thing?
It too-y.
Eye to Eye Ministries.
Okay, yeah, made it very interesting. And Jan and JD were there. I think maybe Robert Anderson and Lori were there, and Ricky came. Ricky Byers Beckwith came. And so one to show up and then to hear the other artists and be like, okay, these people are for real. And like incredible talent. I mean, that was inspiring and also a little bit intimidating, like to hear them all. And but I remember one key moment for me was I think Jan had won, something that night, and I was sitting next to Ricky, and Ricky says, I'm not so into these awards, and I think she was kind of just doubting herself. It's not that she didn't love us and the event, but she doubted herself, like, I'm not into awards. Why did I come? And I remember when Jan won and you looked over at JD, and I don't remember, JD, if you were on stage, but you had tears in your eyes. You were just so, I don't know if the word is proud, you just felt so much love that, Jan and, these songwriters had received this love. And I just remember when I looked over at Ricky, I said, this is why we come, is to support each other, to let each other know that we're not alone, that our music makes a difference. And she just kind of nodded her head. She goes, I get it, Faith, and it was hard to miss because JD had so much love in his heart, and it's so cool to be on your webcast, and it's like it's us just gushing. I mean, I kind of wonder if other people can watch this because I'm not saying in a bad way, but we're really loving people that support each other, and that's the best part about this tribe. So and yeah, I didn't get to gush on all of you, but you guys rock. They just have to tune in, and then they'll see. But that's what I wanted to share, was that really beautiful moment that will always stay with me as to why I, support this tribe. It's about lifting each other up. So.
Well, I met Faith.
Thank you.
I'm so dark.
I met Faith at a Just Plain Folks event.
All right.
And I want to honor Brian Austin Whitney from Just Plain Folks. It's a wonderful organization, still is. Mm-hmm. And it was connected with a lot of people through that. And I met Faith at this little gathering that they had. And I grew up around a lot of local people, Hawaiians, and and I lived in Hawaii for a while, and so we kind of had a few things to talk about, and then I met Nolan, her husband, and we became really good buds and did music together, and such a giving, loving soul. And she always is one step ahead, like would do something with her music or with some new technology or some new connecting thing that was always, really cool. In fact, Faith was the one that connected me with the Posse Music event. She went on a cruise and said, "We won this great cruise," and I go, "What's that?" And she said, "Well, you got to come to this thing," and that's how I got involved, and we've been great friends ever since, and written songs, and she has a great family. So a pleasure to share time and music and love with you.
Beautiful.
Back at you, Harold.
And if I can say something about Faith as well as I move around here, I can change the light of myself. This is so cool. Oh my God, technology is just the best.
Yeah, maybe I can
Faith,
get better light if I do that.
Yeah, just walk around with your computer.
Okay.
But I'll tell you, what I love about you, Faith, is that you've taken the New Thought Posse message and you've turned it into such a hip genre. I kind of come from especially on acoustic guitar, I'm kind of coming from a folk world and presenting it in a folk type of a way, folk type of genre. But you're doing this whole thing. You're dancing, you're doing a hip hop thing, you're doing. You're cross genring in so many different ways, and it really works. It really works, and especially to hear. It's not exactly the rap, but it's like the new R&B, and in new R&B, to me, so many of the lyrics are so vacuous, and so what you're doing, you're taking that music and you're putting these phenomenal lyrics to it, with this great message, and you're just exuding love with a smile, and you're dancing, and it's just completely infectious. That's what it is. It's infectious. It's compelling, awesome. And it's beautiful. All at the same time. It's very, very, very cool.
And we don't want to get vaccinated.
Thank you, Freebo.
That's right. We want the infection to sink in. It's a good infection if there is such a thing.
Thank you, Freebo. Thank you.
Quite welcome.
All right.
I think we should talk about Nathan.
No, we're going to keep the conversation focused on the performance tomorrow night. Thank you so much.
No.
Glenn,
don't give me this Canadian.
No. I'm being sincere. We need to give Glenn some airtime. I just found out that.
Was he here?
Yeah.
What's that? I don't see Glenn in the conversation, but I know that he will be performing tomorrow night, and I would very much like you guys to give him some love and attention too, because we all love him.
Glenn is one of the finest guitar players I know, and he can play any song, any style, knows every lick like Nathan does. And I met the two of them outside at kind of a jam, and we started playing, oldies, and all of a sudden they just knew every vocal part, every guitar and bass part, and then Susie Holzer jumped in, and they become the two jam stars at the end at the party, because they can just paint any song, any color, anytime, and know all the parts. And it's so cool. And Glenn has become a great songwriter, and he's an artist, both as a musical artist as well as he's done the graphics for the CD covers.
That's right.
And just a real joyful, positive, supportive, loving guy, and his beautiful wife, Dawn. And they're just great folks. And it's going to be great that they're coming through and going to be playing with all of us, because he can just jump on in. Whatever you're playing, he's like all over it.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Yeah. And,
in a good way.
And as JD just wrote in, massively talented, massively soulful. Love that. Beautifully said. Yeah.
Should I jump off so they can jump in?
Would you like to say something about Glenn?
Yes. Glenn, because I've gotten to write a couple of songs with him now. And I didn't know, because like at our first co-write, I didn't know him that well. And then he would his chord progressions, he wrote what is that song with Sue about the wildflowers? Or do you guys know what song I'm talking about?
Yeah.
But whatever. He does productions
Daisies
as well.
or African.
No. But he's always surprising me, like with the next like level, not only like a different talent, but like the quality and the brilliance of that talent. And kind of like all the other artists here, the brilliance is equal to the heart, and the love that comes from it. So to me, he's a newer friend, but he feels like an old friend because his heart is just right there with us. So yeah, chops like you dream of. Chops like Freebo and, well, all of you actually. Chops that I dream of. How's that? So, yeah.
Oh. Lovely. Thanks.
Well, I'm glad Glenn's going to be there. I was actually just called him to find out about promoting the show, because somebody suggested to get in touch with Glenn, because he works with the whole Posse Fest thing, and the Posse tours. And he said, when is it? And I said, well, it's Wednesday the 13th. And he said, oh, I'm flying in that day. I said, into where? He said, into LA. I said, well, how convenient is that? You're just going to have to stop by, and maybe you can bring you will have your guitar with you, right? Well, bring your guitar by and we'll see what we can do. So, and actually I did a house concert at Daniel Neymont's the other night, Saturday night. And I invited him. 50-50 chance he might show up, but it will just add to the posiness of the whole thing. But Glenn, I'm really glad you're going to be there, man, and really you're a fabulous player. And if Glenn and I play in the house band at the Posies together, and always have a blast, and at Folk Alliance get together and do this big old jam, which is no original tunes, just covers. And then we do the same thing with Nathan. And so when Nathan and Glenn get together, it's outrageous for me. I mean, they just take care of it. I just go boom, 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 and know you were there, and it works great. But it's fabulous when you got to do that. I hope we get to do that at the Posies again, because that's just precious.
Yeah. Well, thank you all. I'm just delighted that we all have an opportunity to give people a taste of what we experience every year. Jan and JD, you were saying some wonderful things about Glenn in the chat. The chat will not be visible on the replay.
Oh.
So can you just give a
recap?
Recap. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
To use a Harold Payne term, yes.
Well, I want to say that just playing music with Glenn is such a wonderful experience, because I think, as Freebo mentioned, it doesn't really matter. He may not have ever heard the song, but he'll know a lot of what to do.
Yeah.
He just knows, and it's so much fun. And he's got a great sense of groove, and I just love playing with him.
Yeah, and I will jump in on top of that and say, not only he's a great musician, but I had an opportunity to write with Glenn recently. Well, I don't know when it was, a couple years ago maybe. We wrote a tune that just kills. It's called the Christmas Bossa Nova, destined to be a classic. And like writing with Glenn was hilarious and wonderful and fun. And he came up with some lines as a lyricist that just flowed out of him that, you know, when I sing this song, people laugh and giggle and, you know, elbow their partner. I mean, it's just a tiny bit naughty in a really nice, new thought kind of way. So, you know, it's just so cool. Glenn, I just love you, man. I can't wait to play with you again and write and all that.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, for those of you joining us late, my name is Nathan Aswell. This is Small Steps, Big Life, where we celebrate the small steps that we all take to live our big lives. And it's my great pleasure today to be hanging out with some of my tribe, friends from the positive music world. We usually get to see each other every February in Florida for the Positive Music Awards. And a subset of the tribe is gathering tomorrow night in Los Angeles at Kulak's Woodshed to play some music together. And that will be Freebo, Harold Payne, J.D. Martin, Jan Garrett, and Faith Rivera, and Glenn Ruthell. So if you're going to be in Los Angeles, this is a night not to be missed.
Is Levi Hammock coming?
Levi apparently is going to join us, from what I understand.
Just to quick few. I mean, Levi is a phenomenal guitar player, a wunderkind. You know, plays several instruments, and he's living out in L.A. now. And I saw him not long ago, and just a great young man and super uber talented. You know, so it'd be great to have him.
Yes, and Meryl is asking a question. Time, the concert tomorrow night at Kulak's Woodshed is happening 7 p.m. Pacific.
7 Pacific.
8 o'clock Colorado time, Meryl.
8 o'clock for you, Meryl.
So tune in. And so just to acknowledge that Levi is the son of Russ Hammock and
Liddy.
I never know how to pronounce her name. Thank you, JD.
Liddy, yeah.
A fantastic minister at Unity of Clearwater in Florida. And it's been a real treat for me to meet Levi and his brother, who come every year to the Posies and just jump in on piano and violin and guitar, and just, you know, they make all of our jaws drop. It's just been wonderful to see their music.
Yeah, I guess they called him Levi because he comes from such good genes.
Bada boom.
Sorry.
Oh, you're not sorry at all. Harold, you're a card and you should be dealt with.
All the everybody there will be panting. I'm just.
Bada boom.
You belted me a good one, Jan.
Oh, okay, everybody zip up, okay? Not enough of that.
You all should be cuffed.
Tune in tomorrow. Tune in.
And as Faith is saying, Russ and Letty are the original Posse fans and supporters, pillars, absolutely. Big hearts and key players in this whole thing. Well, does everybody feel complete? Is there anything that we didn't say that we've been wanting to say?
Thank you,
Well,
Nathan.
besides thank you, Nathan,
Yes,
for
Nathan.
putting this together, for gathering us in the pre-gathering. Appreciate that, and hopefully this will help get the word out to have folks tune in tomorrow night at 7 Pacific into kulakswoodshed.com or go to concertwindow.com and look for Freebo, and we'll be having the show. It is a mere $10, which is a drop in the bucket. And that also helps to keep the woodshed open. As I said before, Paul Kulak, this is a labor of love for him. So he's not in it for the money, he's in it for the music, as are we. But we don't have day jobs, so we have to pay the rent too. So that's a whole nother story.
Also, like to acknowledge, Nathan, also, perhaps you'd like to let people know about your blab and when you do it and anything that,
thank you.
Please do so.
Yeah, thank you, Harold.
So gracious to us.
Thank you, sir. The blab is Small Steps, Big Life. My intention, and I'm feels like it's now beginning to happen much more easily than it did last year. My intention is to host a blab 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday-ish, for about an hour. And just feature somebody that I think is interesting and living a life that would inspire all of us and would make us feel encouraged to live our big lives in listening to them share their story.
Yeah.
And so it gives me great joy to say that the next show will be on Friday, and it will feature Richard and Sue.
Oh,
And
cool.
we'll be talking about the
All right.
Posse Award. So I just thought that that would be a lovely thing
At
to
4
follow
o'clock?
on the heels. Yes, sir. 4 p.m. Pacific. Yeah. So I thought that would be the perfect show to follow on the heels of this. And yeah, in the weeks to come, all kinds of interesting people, speakers, healers, musicians. Yeah, just fun
And-
folks that I'm meeting all along the way.
Also like to thank Ann Pogue
Yeah.
for always being there, being the greatest Posse music supporter, and now purveyor herself thereof, and everybody else, Meryl and everybody else who joined in, and Jana, and for
Yeah.
all joining us, and anybody else that we didn't know that was there.
Yeah, and for all those who will enjoy this on the replay, as I said before, at the end of this broadcast, I will, when this broadcast becomes available, it will be on my YouTube channel. It will also be on my personal webpage, and I will send all of you links to the show. The links will also include links to all of your websites, as well as to the Kulak's website, Kulak's Woodshed website, so that everybody can buy tickets for the show tomorrow night.
Right.
Alrighty. Thank you all so much, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nathan Aswell. This show is called Small Steps, Big Life, and it has been my great pleasure to spend time for about an hour with some of my closest musical friends, Freebo, Harold, J.D. Martin, Jan Garrett. Glenn Rathel was with us in spirit. Faith Rivera was here with her new daughter, Izzy, and some of our close friends were watching in real time. So I hope that those of you watching on the replay enjoy this hour as much as we did, because we did. We always do.
did.
Whenever we
We
get
did.
together, we have a lot of fun. So
We do.
I will be with you guys tomorrow night in spirit, and I'm glad that I had this opportunity to be with you beforehand. So
Thank you.
much love to you all. Thanks
Thanks,
for all
Nathan.
that you do. Keep walking, and I look forward to seeing you all in February in Florida.
Okay,
Lots of love,
Take care.
everybody.
Lots of love, everyone.
Yep.
back at you. Bye. Bye. How do I get out of here?